All right. Yeah, sorry, everyone. Um, Welcome to Tina and Karen Do the Tube. I am Karen.
This is Tina back for 2022.
It's been a while since we've done a video, and in case you're curious about the video, the song intro change, um, my computer crashed and I lost all my files, including our intro, song.
Mm.
It's not gone for good. I used the data recovery software to bring everything back, but I have to sift through all the files in order to find everything. So at the moment, we do not have our intro song, so I thought that would be a suitable alternative.
So for now, you're going to have to listen to whatever conjures up in Space Karen's mind.
That's very good stuff. I just heard that song for the first time like a week or two ago, and I've been listening to it nonstop. It's fucking amazing.
Really, I don't even know if I've heard that song in full.
It's so far my 2022 anthem.
Okay.
It's an early year, so there's still plenty of time for something to beat it. But odds are at New Year's 2022, you and I are going to be blasting that song.
All right, bitches will be on our dicks.
I got bitches all on my dick every day, sucking on my
On them
balls, licking. It's just.
Other than the computer issue, how's your 2022 been so far?
Kind of mixed. I got COVID.
We got COVID.
We got COVID. We both got. How you feeling?
I would feel fine.
Yeah.
Like I only had like a couple days where my throat was sore, but I had to stay at home for quite a while. So
How'd your workplace manage?
I mean, I would work from home from what I could do, and then like I think 2 days I just was there by myself with the doors closed,
Yeah.
not doing everything, and then our boss wouldn't. When I came back after like the 5 day quarantine, he'd come in, but he would be gone by the time I got there.
Uh huh.
So
Yeah. My
yeah.
my experience with the whole COVID, I was about sick. I was pretty sick for about a day or maybe two. Well, let's put it this way. Around Monday night, I started to feel symptoms. I felt very tired, very sick. Um,
The time I got symptoms too, Monday night.
yeah. Well, you and I both know my wife was sick day or two. I don't know if you knew that, but like she got sick like a day or two before I did. So
Yeah, I think you messaged me that yeah, she had gotten sick, so I assumed
yeah,
you'd get sick too.
yeah. She was like for the Sunday, she could not get out of bed for the entire day. She didn't feel like terrible, but fatigued is the only word to put it. Like she could not move,
Hmm.
and that's kind of how I felt. Like I didn't really feel sick. I just felt like I was super super tired. and
Yeah.
yeah, and my workplace has a 10-day quarantine because we go based off of the Tacoma Health Department and not the CDC, even though the Tacoma Health Department hasn't updated their guidelines to match the CDC. So I was actually out of work for 2 weeks.
Oh, did you have to use your sick time or?
No. Luckily, the one of the good things at least is I would have been a lot more pissed if I had to use my own leave. They had that emergency sick leave pool that we could draw from.
Okay.
So I got, basically 2 weeks off. I got a lot of housework done. Played a lot of
Alright.
video games. Watched Game of Thrones again.
Again.
I love that show. It's
I think
I
you've probably seen it more times than I have, definitely at this point, than most people, I think. I
mostly because
believe.
I'm that type of guy. I maybe this makes me really dull, but I can put a show on in the background. Like in a lot of ways, people put music on in the background, and
Mm,
I don't really I half-heartedly pay attention while I do other things.
yeah.
Yeah. And Game of Thrones has become one of those shows. Yeah.
Just to have in the background.
Yeah, like Game of Thrones, The Office. It used to be Walking Dead, but Walking Dead is shit now.
I can't say I'm like that. If I turn something on, I have to like intently watch it. Unless it's at work, because I already am doing other things. So,
All right. So you might hear me cough from time and time again on this.
do you have a cough still?
I have a slight cough that's been persistent for like it comes and goes.
Mm. It's just like a short cough, like
Like clearing the throat. Yeah, it's not like
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like y- it won't be too disturbing for this podcast, and I'll cough away from the mic. But anyways, speaking of this podcast, well, Tina and I are going to react and respond to Vice's video, "The Truth Behind Birds Aren't Real: My Life Online," and you maybe can give me a little bit more,
I only found
background
out,
into this
yeah.
because I just thought the headline was funny, so I thought
The
fun.
truth behind.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had only heard of Birds Aren't Real like a year or two ago, and I guess it had been around longer than that. And so it's a conspiracy theory, and
Is it
it's a
flat Earth?
completely ridiculous, kind of, yeah.
It's okay. That's
But
what I figured.
yeah, it's a made-up conspiracy theory, and that it's like a counter conspiracy theory to people that believe in a lot of conspiracy theories.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a huge conspiracy theorist, so when I hear a new conspiracy theory that contradicts my pre-existing conspiracy theories, I believe them both even stronger.
Yeah. So in a sense, it's just a movement to make fun of, those types of people.
Okay. Well, let's see if I get made fun of.
Okay. And essentially, they say that birds aren't real and they were invented they're all robots invented by the government for some reason.
Yeah. I could buy that. I'm curious how they pull it together, but we'll just start this video off and pause and react to it as we see fit.
All right.
we
I'm
go.
curious to see how this goes.
All right.
A caller who said they thought your van was suspicious.
What's suspicious about the van?
United States government murdered over 12 billion over the course of 1959 through 2001 as they killed off real birds. They replaced them with surveillance drones, indistinguishable from a biological bird. There are now no real birds left. Interesting. So they believe birds existed at one point.
I don't know. There's probably two sides to this theory: is that the people in on the joke, and maybe there are people that actually believe it. I hope not.
There are people who believe in everything. Like if you poll Americans, usually like the most unanimous you can get from Americans is like 93%. Like you never get
at least nine out of 10 Americans believe in at least one conspiracy theory.
I think that, yeah. I mean, like, I heard it put this way: if you either believe in a planned version of history or you believe in a random version of history where no one can affect anything.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, the idea that you could believe a conspiracy theory is real is that there's just people who are planning stuff and they're not telling you about it. I mean, okay, yeah, sure, I can believe that. That's true. But
yeah, some secret society or some hidden part of the government, right?
well, I believe that. But birds aren't real. I'm curious what this guy's argument will be. Pigeons are liars.
I know.
Okay, so I don't think this guy's being serious, but let's hear him out.
Yeah.
China.
I don't know.
I am a bird truther, a person who doesn't believe in birds, and who's part of a larger movement called the Birds Aren't Real movement.
So in America, there is a growing conspiracy that years ago their government killed all the birds.
It's a movement.
Where do you think this guy is? Do we know?
I was just wondering because I saw he had like a cowboy hat on.
You think this is Texas somewhere?
Maybe like Dallas, Austin.
Dallas or Austin? I could see Austin
Yeah.
pulling this sort of stuff.
Yeah, some sort of intellectual. I see CID downtown art walk.
I don't know what CID is. Comes inside dildos. I don't know.
Come.
I got a filthy mind. But I don't know. CID. That's maybe they'll reveal that later on. But you think it's Texas?
I think it's Texas. It
Yeah.
seems like a Texas thing.
Yeah, I would say so. I think you get
But
this.
they're describing this as like a movement.
Every conspiracy theory is a movement, right? Like the Flat Earth Society.
I guess, yeah, flat earth is like more like a movement because there's people that ascribe to flat earth that don't even believe in it. They just like
Kyrie
really believe
Irving. Kyrie Irving's a flat earther.
it. Supposedly, right?
He's the most famous flat earther I know. I don't know of many others, but that's if he's being genuine about it.
Yeah, I heard he might be being coy and just trying to like, I don't know, throw people off. But he's kind of a weirdo, isn't he?
No.
From what I understand.
No, well, I don't know. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. But Kyrie Irving gained a lot of respect from me the last year, so fuck.
I gotcha.
Love the guy, yeah. Yeah, sure.
So let's see what this guy. Let's see more about
He's
this
a bit young.
movement here.
Do you think?
This is a fairly new thing.
Well, look at all the people in the crowd. It's fairly young, and I would say that like these. I would say that the conspiracy theories with more old people are more committed to it being real. This seems like a joke. They're all in on it, right?
They are all very young and enthusiastic.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, we're being spied on. No. That's not a real conspiracy theorist. They wouldn't be this happy. They're basically joking. So far.
Yeah, I think if this was real, they wouldn't be too happy.
No.
Or they really believe
replace all the birds. Jeez.
People that want you to know that birds are actually drones.
I mean, you don't really believe that happened, correct?
Honestly, it's kind of offensive.
We do not.
That's 2021 in a nutshell. Or 2022. You could just get away with anything by saying that's offensive.
I feel like if you think that they think it's real, that's the last question you ask them. You don't actually believe this, do you?
Yeah, it's one of those disingenuous questions you ask someone. I've seen it done like I've seen panels where like a guy, waits his turn in line, and then when he gets to the mic he says, "So, do you actually believe the shit you say?" Like, it's such a bad faith question no matter what, right? There's no one
Yeah.
can genuinely ask that. They're just basically saying you're lying and I'm calling you out on it.
Yeah, well, I mean, what do you expect to gain from? They're not going to say yes.
It's not a conversation. It doesn't move
Or
a
no.
conversation. It halts a conversation.
Yeah, it doesn't add to it.
No, it basically just I'm not actually. It's when someone says I'm not actually interested in the conversation. I just want to call you out as a liar.
Yeah.
So, do you actually believe what you're saying? Well, I mean, either I'm a liar, which is possible, or yes, of course. There are trolls. There are trolls.
There's-
I understand.
Yeah, there are trolls.
Like this dude.
Oh.
This dude's a troll.
I don't know. In like the conspiracy world, though, there's a bunch of. I mean, there might be.
Oh, there's plenty of trolls in the conspiracy world.
Yeah.
You kidding me?
Okay.
Yeah. The whole they're like there might be a nugget. Like, here's the thing. Like, I think like most of the conspiracies have a nugget of truth behind them, and that's what launches off the whole web. And then the trolls get a hold of the truth, and then they basically make up a bunch of bullshit, and then people follow that.
What do you think the nugget of truth is in this?
That the government is spying on people.
Okay.
That much is very true. That's not debatable, really.
I don't even know that's a conspiracy.
No, it's not anymore, but it used to be. Alex Jones used to get laughed at for saying the NSA is spying on people. Well, that turned out to be true.
Thank you, Snowden.
Not find this to be a humorous issue.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm dead serious. I guess if you're looking at numbers like TikTok and Reddit and Instagram and all that, probably 2 million people that
I hate TikTok.
follow us. But
Have you ever
yeah,
used
movement-
it?
Briefly, before I really understood what it was.
It can be kind of addictive.
Yeah. Do you use TikTok?
No, I went through the Instagram version of it and you just kind of keep scrolling at different videos and you can't like look away. But after I get done, I'm like, I just wasted that entire time.
Yeah, that's true. Well, 9gag. That's for me. It's 9gag. 9gag's a big waste of time. It's just something to while you're shitting. But TikTok spies on you. You know that, right?
Yeah.
That's the Chinese
Yeah.
government.
And some people don't care.
Some people don't care. I know, that's so weird. We've gotten to the point where like we're so accustomed to being spied on and our data being sold that it's just like there are people out there who just genuinely don't care anymore. They're being spied on or listened to.
Yeah, just I guess that's the caveat if you want to be on the internet is that
Do you think you can live on the grid anymore and have privacy, really?
Not if all the birds are drones.
That's true. Wow, 416,000 members for Birds Aren't Real.
Who knows how old is this video?
636,000 people for Instagram, and 361,000 for TikTok. That's amazing.
Now, how many of these people are active members?
227. Right here.
Okay. You're just online.
There's a lot of people click it, just like I want to join because I want to see some weird shit. Every now, I'm that way. How do you think I get all the news articles I get? Because I like to see weird stuff.
Yeah. We're genuinely entertained by the weirdness of it.
That's right. That's what the whole motto of this podcast is: non-radical views on mostly mundane news. Yeah.
Don't just exist on the internet; they exist in the real world.
Yeah, he's wearing a cowboy hat. He's in Austin or something, I bet.
Yeah, he has to be in Texas.
Is it possible he's in Oklahoma?
Ooh.
This doesn't seem like an Oklahoma thing.
I think you need a lot of people for this to be going on, and if you're wearing a cowboy hat, I think you have to be in like where there's a ton of people like this. I think you have to be in like Texas.
I think so. Okay.
This is just shrouded in darkness for me. It feels like we're at the end of the chapter. I was basically playing a character much of my life.
I was basically playing a character much of my life. What does he mean by that?
I think he's talking about his voice in the movement. He feels like he's playing a character.
It's kind of like how.
But I could be wrong.
No. Like So obviously you know who Alex Jones is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's probably the internet's most famous conspiracy theorist. And he actually went to court and argued, "I'm a performance artist," because
when he was getting divorced.
When he was getting divorced and he was in a custody battle, they basically threw his whole litany, his whole catalog of all of his podcasts and radio show and videos and everything to kind of say this man's unstable. He shouldn't have access to the kids. So he said, "I'm a performance artist." But then that was used against him.
Do you think he was telling the truth, or he's just following his lawyer's advice to try and get custody of his kid?
I've listened to enough Alex Jones to know that I think he's genuine. He's not a performance artist. He really believes what he says.
You don't think a little bit of it's performance, though?
No, it's a little bit of performance in the sense that he wants to be entertaining and funny, but he believes the things he believes. It's not like the whole conspiracy thing is not an act.
Yeah.
But he knows he's being entertaining, but that's just being like, in order to be like in order to reach a wide audience, you got to be both entertaining and informative. You can't just be informative, because no one will tune in.
Do you think this movement is mostly entertaining, or is it more informative?
Well, I hope it's more entertaining. But we're really just barely into this video. We got to really hear this guy out some more.
Yeah. Watch out for the ad here.
Oh no, is there an ad coming up?
Oh yeah.
I would pay another auto insurance bill before checking this out. I was just paying $163 a month. Now,
all right. Sorry, I had to have a little blank there so I can know when to edit it out. Fucking ads. All right.
Right now, I'm just traveling the country in this van, ready to go make a stand.
We're part of a movement that believes that every single bird in the skies is a robot. It's always beautiful to get to talk to someone and see the little spark that lights up in their eyes when they
wouldn't they shoot more birds if they genuinely believed it?
Yeah, wouldn't they be trying to destroy them? That's a good question.
That guy was just admiring the bird as it flew by.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it feels like pigeons are already kind of drones.
Yeah. Okay.
They're so like mindless, that.
Pigeons are actually interesting because you can get pretty damn close to a pigeon. They're so used to humans.
I know, exactly. Was it the video of that homeless guy just eating a pigeon's head off?
Pigeons are the ideal bird.
Do you think, though, if the government wanted the birds to be all spies, you think they want things more like out in the woods? Like,
wait, what? They want more things out in the woods? Why?
It's just because there's more like shady stuff going out in the woods than maybe in like the city.
Well, I think, that's a good point. That's true. The true threats to society are not in the... Well, they could be in the city, but yeah, there's equal parts to that. Like Ted Kaczynski, Unabomber, he was out in the middle of the woods plotting the destruction of the modern world. And I fully support him. I've thought about writing him a letter every now and then because apparently he gets them and he reads them.
Send him a letter.
I want to. His book changed my life.
Didn't I saw something about him getting transferred from prison or something recently?
From
or maybe
really?
he got sick or something. I don't know.
Oh, COVID?
Maybe.
No, I didn't know about that, but that'd be interesting. I don't think he's not one of the guys who can never get parole.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna get out.
He should though. Everything he did was justified. No, okay. I want to stop right there before I get banned. I don't condone murder, but I do condone the fighting back against the system of the industrial society.
Okay.
But not through lethal means.
Not through violence.
Yeah, I can't condone violence. Sorry. I mean, there's a part of me that like, I don't know. That's a bigger discussion, really. But
yeah.
Because violence is almost necessary when, like, rat is like cornered. A caged rat, when they're cornered, they will do just about everything they can to survive.
Yeah, I mean it's natural to do that, but I mean, how many people feel cornered, in life these days?
Oh, so many. That justifies the rise of violence that we've seen. Not justifies, explains the rise of violence we've seen.
I'd feel cornered if all the birds were real.
That's right.
Understand the truth for the first time,
They always do that fucking thing. I don't like that. Every video like this is gonna do the view counter. That's not how view counters work. We would never see that.
I don't think that video actually has 680 billion views.
No, it doesn't. So it's this. I hate this sort of manipulative editing. That shit doesn't happen. You don't see. I'm gonna rewind it. I want to be very clear about this. This is bullshit.
When they understand the truth for the first time,
Jesus. That's not how view counters work. And no,
especially on YouTube.
Yeah, and that's not. It is not. There's no way that it has 608 billion views. Only music videos get 608 billion views.
Or cats.
The purpose of the internet. Did you know that? Like, Tim Berners-Lee, he's the creator of the web.
Yeah, that was the most surprising thing to him.
Yeah, he was at, like, they asked him, like, he predicted a lot of the things that the internet would be used for, the web would be used for, but the one thing that surprised him was cat videos.
It's the cat virus, man.
It is. They're curious and fun. Oh, they actually believe it got to 1 trillion. What the fuck is the E? What
does that mean?
Were we not gonna notice that? It's like, I guess, like on a calculator when it's E to the power of 10 or something. Air, yeah, I don't know. Oh, my life. Oh. Okay. I take back everything I said. This is just a clever intro. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it turns out that was what it was. Sorry.
All right.
Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Brennan. Oh, he loves paper bags.
In there immediately.
That's 1 million hits right there.
Right there.
Cat video.
Loves paper bags.
It's his little trick. The day I met Peter was like the craziest day of my life, actually. He like just started talking about all this crazy stuff, and he was just sitting with the Birds Aren't Real poster. He was just like so serious too. Like he was so serious holding this sign, and we were...
He doesn't actually believe it. Look at that face.
It's fairly young looking, actually.
It's just the problem is, like, you wouldn't, if you really genuinely thought you were being spied on by birds, you would not be like walking around happy and smiling.
You're certainly trying to get the message out, though.
Yeah. We're just like, what is this guy doing? After that, like, my whole friend group, just like, we were obsessed with him.
They're very sweet friends to me.
It was just weird.
This was a ploy to get laid with his sister's friends.
I mean,
yeah,
as it started out that and then got out of hand.
Yeah, it kind of got out of hand. You might say it's just something like, I was just trying to have sex with my sister's friend, and all of a sudden I'm leading a movement of people who believe birds aren't real.
It sounds like that's where this video is at.
It might be.
Because it was like a day that like notably changed all of our lives.
My name is Peter McIndoe.
Welcome.
Birds Aren't Real has sort of made this community, and there's a bunch of like members of that community all across America.
Say, I don't trust the bird media.
Okay, co-opting another.
Yeah, okay. I mean, like, we're going to be talking about this the whole video, but, like, is this real or not? It's just so obviously it's not real. It's a big joke. It's a good it's a good joke, but yeah. Don't try to sell me on this is real.
Okay.
Okay.
We're here because of a tragedy of 12 billion birds murdered by the United States government. How do you feel about that?
Fucking lemmings.
Cincinnati? Okay.
Whenever I see like these like crowds of people responding to a guy with a megaphone, I always think of like Life of Brian.
Oh yeah.
The scene where he's like you're all individuals, and they all chant together, yes, we're all individuals. You have to think for yourselves. We have to think for
ourselves.
Yeah. Good scene. Good comedy.
People.
Monty Python's amazing.
So it looks like this is recent because there are people with masks on. So
people gotta get fucking.
Because I thought this started probably back in like 2016, 17, maybe 18.
A lot of stuff started back then. Like the world came to a halt. 2015, 2016. That's when the simulation ran its course, and now we're in like the sort of aftermath.
It had no more code to
exactly
simulate, so now we're just opting on our own.
Doesn't it feel like that way though? Doesn't it feel like everything was normal up until about 2015, 2016, and then everything got crazy? Or is it just me?
Since Trump was elected, basically.
No, Trump got elected because of the craziness, but the craziness predates Trump.
Yeah. I mean,
but yes, Trump couldn't. Like, I always point this out, like to people who think that Trump caused this madness, and I say Trump couldn't have gotten elected if there wasn't already the madness.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, so like they always want to blame Trump, and it was like the world existed before Trump, people, and he just capitalized on it, but he didn't create it.
No, he was a symptom of it.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, trying to think. It didn't seem too crazy between 2010 and like 2015.
No, I mean, life was normal. The weirdest thing was that LMFAO was a big deal. And I'd like to go back to those times where LMFAO was a very popular band, because the music you showed me was, if that was the best music of 2021, then God help us. That was shit.
I'm sure there's a lot more music out there.
Yeah, like my song.
Just the stuff I showed you.
Well, the song that I showed you.
Oh, yeah. What was that called?
No, just the song I showed you at the beginning of this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Like, sucking them.
Balls.
I'm sorry. All right. There's Birds Aren't Real Cincinnati. What the? Are they in Cincinnati right now?
Birds Aren't Real.
Oh, go Bengals. By the way, congratulations to all Bengals fans.
Oh, yeah. First playoff win in 30 years.
Yeah. 1991 was the last playoff win for them. This was 30 years. That's impressive.
Yeah,
and
they deserve it.
Yeah, and then I also want to give a congratulations out to Buffalo for beating the Patriots in the most humiliating fashion, and like
hell yeah.
I was rooting for the Bills, but honestly, I just wanted a better game than that. That was embarrassing.
Okay, you actually just wanted a better game.
Yeah, because if you have no one to root for, like you just want to watch good, tight games, don't you?
I'm surprised the Patriots were as good as they were with Mac Jones.
I think Mac Jones has potential. I don't think Mac Jones was the major problem. He definitely didn't help them win. But like when you're here, look, when Josh Allen throws more touchdowns than incompletions, your defense has fucked the game over.
Yeah, you have to blame it on the defense.
Yeah, and they were the second-ranked defense in the league. this last year, the Patriots.
Yeah, and they beat Buffalo last time in a very low-scoring game,
Yeah.
right?
But I am of all the teams that are still in it, and of all the teams that made the playoffs, I am riding Buffalo personally. What about you?
Maybe Cincinnati.
Maybe.
It seems
But
a little bit more unrealistic. Though.
I like lovable losers. That's the Bills, and I also like small market teams. And Buffalo is about the size as Tacoma.
Yeah, is it really?
Buffalo used to be one of the bigger cities in America back in the 50s. But
technically, I think it's part of they consider it part of the Rust Belt, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. So it's suffered the Rust Belt syndrome, just like Detroit and just like Cleveland and all those other cities, Chicago, where it's just decayed to what it used to be one of the bigger cities in the country back in the 50s, and now it's one of the it's about the size of Tacoma.
Okay.
Yeah, crazy.
I heard it's kind of like a hippie-ish scene, or not hippie-ish, but the scene kind of coming out of Buffalo.
Interesting. I wouldn't know about that. My girlfriend's ex-boyfriend used to live in Buffalo, and all I know about it is that the weather there is shit.
I think they almost elected a outright Marxist mayor.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, so I don't know if she or he ended up getting elected, but that's one of the last things I heard out of Buffalo.
I do like that Portland, the runner-up to the mayor election, and Ted Wheeler is a loser, but the runner-up to the mayoral election in Portland was an Antifa supporter and a full-blown communist who basically campaigned wearing pictures of Stalin and Mao on her dress.
Did she win?
No, wait. Ted Wheeler did. The
Okay.
more mainstream Democrat.
Okay.
Who's already pretty lefty.
Yeah, it's Portland. So.
But not radical enough for Portland, really.
Okay. That's the funny part.
But it's funny. Whenever I think about like socialists in America, I always think of Alice Cooper.
Really?
Yeah, you ever seen Wayne's World?
Actually, no.
Oh,
I've
really?
seen parts of it, yeah.
Oh, it's a big joke because there's a scene in Wayne's World where Alice Cooper explains the history of Milwaukee, and he's like well versed in it. And he knows everything about Milwaukee. It's funny. He's like Wayne, the character of Wayne, Mike Myers. He just asks, "So do you come to Milwaukee often?" And he just gives on this whole lecture. And he's like, Milwaukee means Milwaukee, which means the good land. And I think Milwaukee's interesting for being the only major American city that has elected 3 different socialist mayors.
Really? Okay.
And I know all of that thanks to Alice Cooper.
It's a beautiful city.
I've never been.
Right, right on the lake, and I think there's a river that runs in it, and there's a bunch of German architecture.
Oh, a river runs through it.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Let me refill my drink, and we'll come back and continue. And we're back.
Woo.
What time did you wake up today?
I got out of bed around 3. I went to go see Bert Kreischer last night.
Oh, yeah. How was that?
It was good.
He's the Machine, right?
The Machine, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I've seen him before. He's funny. Yeah.
Yeah. He I didn't know it, but he redoes his Machine bit at the end of each of his shows.
Okay. I told Mary about that, and she didn't find the humor in it that I did, but only because she hasn't seen the special. I just tried to explain it. Because I told her how you were going to Bert Kreischer, and she didn't know who that was. And I said, oh, he's the Machine. She didn't know what that meant. But she didn't know who Dave Chappelle was before she moved here.
She's not versed in comedians? Or?
Well, she knows Jim Carrey and Robin Williams and like the really big names. Not that they're
more like
stand-ups.
performative guys.
Yeah. I don't know if she knew who the stand-up. I don't think she had a favorite stand-up, but she enjoys it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of a really like an American thing, comedy. Like you don't hear about like European like comedians or
no, that's weird.
Comedians out of like South America.
There's a Norwegian guy who's pretty funny. I don't know if you've ever seen him, but his whole bit is just basically explaining American language.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen it? It's just
no.
He talks about how versatile the word ass is. It's it's a really good bit. I'll send it to you if I can find it. But he's
Okay.
pretty funny with it, and it just basically like, he's like, one of my favorite parts about it was like how like if you're half-ass, it means you're not living up to your potential, and if you're a piece of ass, it means you're beautiful.
Maybe well, maybe that's why like it works so well. Comedy works so well in like English is that there's so many different like meanings to different phrases and words.
That could be it. I mean, English is a really interesting language, and because it has such a vast vocabulary, and it's
Yeah, so and part of the comedy is like the surprise or getting the kind of unexpected.
Yeah.
And when you have to use different phrases, then maybe it's easier to land that.
I got a kind of an interesting question for you.
Hmm.
If Shakespeare was alive today, who do you think he'd be? Like, what do you
Good
think he
question.
would? Yeah, what do you think he'd be? Like in terms of writing, would he be a journalist? Would he be a playwright, or would he be a screenwriter, or would he be a comedian, or what? What do you think he'd be?
I feel like he'd be the ghostwriter for Drake. He'd be like a ghostwriter for rappers.
Jesus Christ, that's so bad.
doesn't actually exist by name. You don't know him, but he's written all these famous lyrics.
Oh, that's true. A lot of rap music and hip hop is not written by the people who perform it.
Yeah, sorry to burst your bubble, guys, but some of these people aren't as talented as you think.
Oh yeah, like I always like the classic meme where it's like Freddie Mercury, Bohemian Rhapsody, one writer, one producer, and then it says Beyonce's like Girls Run the World. It's like 14 producers, 15 writers. It's like come, on. Freddie Mercury's way better.
Yeah.
And I actually like some of Beyonce's music, but like Queen is like tiers.
It's
two
on
tiers higher.
okay.
Yeah, it's on a whole.
Different.
Queen's like Beatles to me. Queen is on the same tier as Beatles, and I don't know how many
Really?
other bands. Oh, of course, yeah, absolutely.
Same tier? Because Beatles made a ton of songs.
I know, but I think Queen made a ton of songs too.
They made some good songs, but
Do you think? Okay, so what's your top tier music of all time? Is it just the Beatles, or is there someone else in there?
very top tier. I'd probably put Bob Dylan on the top somewhere.
If I had to say tiers, like S tier is the highest, I'll put Bob Dylan A tier. I don't think he's on the same level as the Beatles.
I think you could put him on the same tier as far as like entire catalog and influence in the music world.
He's a really good writer. And the funny thing is, like everyone likes Bob Dylan's music, they just don't know it.
Exactly.
There's so many cover versions of his songs that like are actually more popular than his version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's amazing he even got as famous as he did with his voice.
I know exactly. But let's get back into it. Go Bengals.
Go Bengals.
Yeah, Cincinnati.
Real Cincinnati, Birds are in Chicago and Austin and Arizona. Everyone is coming together, all with their own signs.
That's a good slogan. Sorry, that's good. Honk if
That's how you
hate
know you have a
birds.
real movement if you got like that grassroots phrase is, like that.
You just got to find a good rhyme. It doesn't matter what your movement represents, just if it rhymes.
If it flies, it spies.
If it's a truck, then it fucks.
It fucked.
Movement's pretty much made out of Gen Z. And I think that a lot of Gen Z feels madness.
Oh, that's an understatement.
I feel like a lot of young generations feel madness.
Yes and no, but I feel like the millennials were a little bit conformist compared to Gen X, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Like millennials, I feel like embrace the madness of the world. Gen X rebelled against it. Boomers embrace the madness. And maybe Gen Z, I don't know enough about them, but like maybe they're the next generation to really rebel.
They're a little bit kind of like, because most of them are in high school, right? Or I think they're younger than 21. and so they've lost the last 2 years,
Yeah.
without being able to socialize.
Jesus
So,
Christ. We have no idea how bad we fucked up people.
well, yeah, maybe that's what comes out of this. Is they're a lot more, I don't know,
I feel
angsty.
like when the history books are written about this period, they're gonna realize we did a lot more damage to kids than we realize. But
Go millennials.
yeah, we're the last generation not to be totally fucked
Peop-
up.
People like millennials.
No, they don't. People hate millennials. Are you kidding me?
No, people are coming around because Gen Z is so weird.
No. Millennials started the weird. I'm sorry. I don't know how much interactions you have with older people, but I interact with old people on a daily basis, and they don't like millennials. But a lot of them don't understand the Gen Z is not millennials, so that could be that.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Birds Aren't Real movement will be holding a protest demanding that Twitter change its disgusting propagandist logo.
We will not stand.
Come on. Okay, is there any shadow of doubt that this is just all a big joke to you now?
I told you it's a counter conspiracy.
It's a counter conspiracy. At least I want them to at least say it though.
I don't think they ever can.
They have to. This is
There's no countering.
Trying to destroy our cause.
Birds aren't real! Birds aren't real! Birds aren't real!
Maybe you've seen the billboard near the Highland Strip or heard the story on Wednesdays Live at 9. A campaign called Birds Are Not Real brings its efforts to the Mid-South.
From 1959 through 2001, the government mercilessly genocide.
Do you take local news that seriously?
To be honest, I haven't even watched local news in quite
Oh, really?
some time. I'll get the articles on my news feed. Occasionally I'll read something, but only if it pops up. I don't have like cable anymore, or I've also been interviewed by local news many times.
I know.
And
I'm sorry. I have to. I remember like you did an interview and they clipped one sentence out of you.
Yeah, for like 30 minutes of talking.
I remember you told me like, "Hey, tune in. I'm going to be on the news," and I did. It's like he got one sentence out, and that was
I
it.
don't even tell people anymore if I've been interviewed, which is about once a year.
But I mean, like, this is the kind of shit that would make me not take local news seriously.
Having this guy on.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, it's newsworthy. That's the problem. It's newsworthy. You got to actually respond.
A lot of those billboards aren't cheap.
That's amazing.
Sighted over 12 billion birds and simultaneously replaced them with surveillance drones in disguise.
I mean, you don't really believe that happened, correct? This is a satirical.
Yeah, okay. That's the conversation stopper. That's what I'm talking about. But maybe it's... I don't know. Have you ever been asked this question?
If I actually believe... Do you seriously believe in what you're saying?
Yeah. Have you ever had a conversation with someone where, like, maybe... I don't know, for whatever reason, like, it became bizarre, and then the person just stopped and just said, "You don't actually believe that, do you?" I don't know if I have.
I don't know if my views are radical enough for someone to.
I don't know. My views are radical, and I haven't actually addressed that. Well, that's the problem. My views are radical, but they're layered under about 15 layers of sarcasm.
I express my views through sarcasm.
Yeah. Like I for instance, I jokingly tell people I believe every conspiracy theory. And when there's a conspiracy theory that contradicts a pre-existing conspiracy theory, I believe them both even stronger. Yeah, so there's a nugget of truth to that too, because I really do believe that in a lot of conspiracy theories, sadly enough. But
why is that sad?
It's sad because like people take me seriously sometimes.
Oh, okay.
I actually remember a conversation where you told me you took me seriously, and I said you shouldn't.
What was it about?
I think we were just sitting down. I think the four of us in a bar. You, me, Jeremy, and Jeff.
Okay.
And I think you said something along the lines of like, you guys are the people I respect the most in terms of your opinions.
Okay.
And I told you you shouldn't take me seriously because I listen to Alex Jones unironically. So, just saying. We were all drunk, too. We were all at the bars. We're drunk.
Okay. All right. Maybe that was the drunkenness coming out.
Yes.
But
the drunkenness always comes out. But nevertheless, it's true. I don't know. I feel like I'm a court jester in a way. I just.
Wait, so has anyone asked you that?
That's. I've had conversations where I've had to share my opinions, and my opinions are bizarre enough where I feel like they should ask. But no, I don't think anyone's ever asked me that.
I think because you usually have a good way of detailing what you exactly believe, so I don't think anyone would pose that question.
There's that too, but also because whenever I really get into these deeper conversations, I always want to take them lightly. So there's always a lot of laughter. I don't want there not to be laughter when you're talking about some serious shit.
Okay.
And maybe your views just aren't radical enough where like you could ever get into that point. But like, how would you want to? Okay, without saying what it is, think about what your most radical opinion is. The one that like you would never share in public if you really didn't. If you want to be. Okay,
the one that I would never share online.
The one that you would never share online or with your friends, like, but like you in the back of your head, you're just thinking like, well, gee, X, it would be a lot better if not for Y, or I don't know. I fucking don't know. Just think of it right now. Do that for me.
I don't know if I can think of any like truly radical views I have.
You
don't have to say I have very few strong views at all.
You don't have to tell me what it is. Just put it in your mind so I can help me out with the scenario.
Okay.
So, how would you want to present that to someone else? Would you want to be hardline and tell the person you're talking to that you're ridiculous if you don't agree with me, or would you kind of like take it with jest? You want to like jokingly bring it up and just like, let's have a fun little like diatribe. Let's have a fun little detour from this conversation where I tell you some bullshit.
See, I'm not like a bullshitter though.
But like, I think Finland isn't a real country.
Just like birds aren't real.
Yeah, but my theory's real. Finland is a conspiracy by the Japanese to sell more fish.
That is one of the more ridiculous ones.
That is definitely one of my more ridiculous beliefs.
I guess I would try it.
It's also better knowing that you're Finnish, so I could say it to you and just like say your whole history is a lie.
Your entire lineage is made up.
Yeah, your ancestry is bullshit. It's just a made up thing.
I think I would try to do it jokingly. Mostly I try to talk people and ask tiny questions to see what their views might be before I like really kind of try to get the nitty-gritty out of what someone else believes.
That's true. The older I get, the more actually I like just knowing what other people believe. I don't ever want to change their minds because I don't think I can. But it's fun to know what other people believe. Like, ask them questions and follow-up questions to see if they have fully thought out, fully fleshed out their ideology.
To see if they actually believe in what they say they believe. Or...
Yeah, exactly. Because some people might just be repeating what they've heard, but they haven't thought it through.
Yeah. I would probably say that is a lot of people.
Campaign to make the point that what?
Honestly, it's kind of offensive.
Love it. That's my 2022 catchphrase.
Yeah, honestly, it's kind of offensive.
You can just end the conversation as the winner if you just say, honestly, that's offensive. No, there's a good scene from The Office. There's a really good scene from The Office where Gabe, if you remember that character, asked Kelly the Indian woman from that character, from that show, is like, can I ask what that means, the dot on her forehead? And she says, I hope it's not offensive, but can I ask what that means? And she says, actually, I do find that offensive. Because she doesn't
Never
really
explains it.
She doesn't know, and she's just doing that to get out of the conversation. But like, yeah, people are afraid to offend one another, so they just basically drop it from that point.
Well, he must know that it might come off as offensive if he's asking the question. So,
is it offensive just to be curious about other people's cultures when you don't understand it? Like, what's
I don't think so.
I mean, for instance, like my wife is from another culture. She's asking questions all the time about like how things are done here, and I don't ever find it offensive. I just want to explain it. It's not offensive. I don't know why it would be offensive to ask what does something mean or why do you do something some way. If you're
It's like genuine curiosity.
Yeah, of course.
Hey, not be offensive, but what is that stupid dot on your forehead mean?
Well, there's definitely a way you could ask it where it's offensive, for sure.
Yeah.
But like, if you just out of curiosity, you were just to say to an Indian woman, but I hope you don't find this offensive. You don't even have to say that in my mind. But what does the dot above the forehead actually mean or represent? Why would anyone be bothered by that question? I hope.
Yeah. I don't think if anyone is genuinely curious, they could truly offend someone.
I actually know what the dot means.
I forget what is it like. It's supposed to be where your energy. It's like chakras, like where your energy comes out of.
Okay, well maybe I don't know what it means.
Okay.
What I had heard is that like there's red and brown dots, and one means like married and one means single.
I don't know if I heard that.
Okay, well, because I'm speaking out of my ass, that's why I think I've heard, but I don't know if it's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the first time that I've ever broken character in an interview. Yeah. And I've realized I don't know how to do it. Like, I have no idea how to...
He's admitting it's bullshit. Oh, great, actually.
Okay. Of course his vicey would come out, too.
On camera. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's been a really interesting experience.
Well, just say it. He didn't say it, though. He said he broke character, but we don't know what that means.
Yet.
Yeah.
I have been playing a character for the past 5 years who believes that every bird is a surveillance drone and who's part of a larger movement called the Birds Aren't Real movement. I've been basically representing the movement, never leaving character, even in like behind the scenes conversations with journalists or anything. So this is new experience for me.
Why is he coming out? Why now?
Because it's Vice. He's made it.
It's gotten too big for him.
No, he's hit the big time. Absolutely.
He's like, I don't want to be a part of this anymore.
Why would he? I don't know. I mean, he did an interview with the local news station, and he didn't think that was the time to be serious. Only with Vice did he decide that it was time.
I don't think that was the time. I think you can be very...
I guess if you don't respect local news, there's a lot of people who don't give a shit about local news.
I feel like that'd be the best time to not be serious.
Maybe. But I don't know. I think valuing local news is somewhat, tied in with how you value your community. And he basically just like, okay, well, like I can fuck with these people, all right. And then he gets to Vice, and Vice is international. It's like, it's gotten too big. You're right. So he's like, okay, I'm going to let you in on the joke. It's all bullshit.
Have you ever seen Tom Segura go in on character on like local news as a non-binary rapper?
No. No, I don't know anything about that.
Well, he's just kind of making fun of all the local news spots that they would have to do, and how just like ridiculous it was.
All right. I'll look into that.
Birds Aren't Real started by accident in 2017. I was in Memphis with some friends. We all just like went around town. There was some protest happening, a rally. I'd always thought it would be funny, like just like a funny skit, if there was one like person there with a sign that had nothing to do with the unified message of the rally.
My brother did that.
What did he do?
He went to a Black Lives Matter protest, and he held up a sign that said, This is the worst gay pride parade I've ever seen.
So in a sense,
he's doing what this guy's talking about, but like he just but it's funny. I get why it's funny. But yeah, my brother did that.
To think he could have been the starter of the Birds Aren't Real movement.
He could have been. Oh, is this guy the starter of it? That'd be great.
Could you see your brother doing something like this, trying to stay in character?
My brother couldn't stay in character for that long, but I could totally see him doing something satirical and to mock people. I can see that.
Okay.
Just like a poster on a wall that had like a white back of it and just took it off the wall. I just wrote like the 3 most random words I could think of, or the most absurd thing I could think, which was.
So he did start it. So
yeah,
this is the founder of the Birds Aren't Real movement admitting it's fake. So.
Okay, heard it here first.
Then took the sign and went marching around, telling people very passionately the birds aren't real. Then people would ask me like, well, what does that mean? The concept of it, I guess, was pretty much just made up in like 3 minutes. As I was doing that, the people I were with started just kind of taking videos.
Birds are a myth. They're an illusion. They're a lie. Wake up, America! Wake up! God! Birds are real! Birds are real!
I didn't even know what satire really meant. Started doing Birds Aren't Real, and then people started kind of telling us what it was as we were doing it.
So he didn't really come up with the full conspiracy. He just basically came up with the slogan, and people created the conspiracy around it.
I know, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It was built from the inside.
Yeah, most definitely. Like, that's how I told you. I told you that's how conspiracy theories take off. There's a nugget of truth that someone wants to report, and then the crazies all expand on that.
So this movement was made as a joke.
True. So there's no nugget of truth here.
The nugget of truth is not real.
What can we say is true? I would say the government is spying on, but he didn't even intend that.
Yeah.
He just said birds aren't real.
And he just said something inflammatory enough to get enough people's attention where they were like, what's this guy talking about? What does he mean?
Yeah, it worked.
This is just how it started.
Pigeons, not real. Eagle.
It wasn't like we sat down and we're going to make a satire. It was just an idea put out into the world by accident.
This totally seems like how I would have been in high school.
I can see us getting into that.
Like, you know what this was all about. Like, back in high school, you just didn't take anything seriously, and you wanted to mock everything you could.
Just be a contrarian.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for some reason, a lot of people identified with.
And we're back.
Hey.
Yeah, I have no strong thoughts about the Church of Latter-day Saints.
Okay.
I don't know. They seem like nice people.
Yeah, they do seem like nice people.
But they believe some
I've played basketball with them a few times.
Yeah. They're not as bad as Scientology. But
if you ever had a girlfriend, would you rather her be a Scientologist or a Mormon member?
That's a tough one. Oh, man. I don't know.
It's pretty easy for me.
Is it? I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Well, hold on. I want to hear what you have to say about that first, but I'll say Mormon. But I don't know why I'm saying Mormon, other than the fact that I know what Scientologists believe, and Mormons believe crazy things too. So all religions are somewhat silly to a certain degree, but Scientology is really fucking crazy, especially when you consider the fact that the guy who founded it said, I can make up a religion if I wanted to. So that's just okay, so why do people follow that? So yes,
it's like the birds aren't real thing, right? Kind of. In a small sense.
Sure. I think, but at the same time, what I know about Joseph Smith, I mean, no disrespect, Mormons, I think he said what he said so he could bang a bunch of women.
You know why I would choose a Mormon girlfriend over a Scientologist?
Why's that?
First of all, the Scientologist woman was probably spending tons of money in the church.
Yeah, that's true.
And second, the Mormon wife, if she really believes in, what the church says, would be open to having multiple wives.
Does the Mormon church even allow that anymore, or has that been
I
like disavowed?
I don't think so. It's like kind of its own thing, separate from the church now. I
Well,
think they
there
came
are
out
some like
against it.
fundamentalist sects out there where they practice polygamy, but I don't know if the
Yeah.
actual church still believes that. But like,
No.
my favorite, if you ever seen like the play, the Book of Mormon, I learned a lot about Mormons from that play.
I have never actually seen the play. No, I've only seen the South Park episode.
I've seen the South Park episode, so it's a lot about a lot of that. But like, though, I have the soundtrack to the Book of Mormon, and what I know is that like prior to 1978, Mormons believed that God punished black people for not following Jesus by cursing them with black skin. And there's a great line. I'm sorry, it's true. That's actually what they do believe. Not anymore, but that's what they used to believe. But like there's a song in the Book of Mormon called "I Believe," and it's hilarious and it has all these little jokes. And one of them is, "And I believe in 1979, God changed his mind about black people." So
Yeah.
Okay, I only bring up that. Okay, so I think Mormons are better than Scientologists, but I do think that there's similarities in the. I think the big difference between a religion and a cult is when you're in a religion, you're allowed to talk to people outside of the religion. When you're in a cult, you're not allowed to talk to people outside the cult. And I think Scientologists and Mormons both encourage people not to talk to people outside, but maybe more so with the Scientologists.
I think Mormons they have like missionary trips, don't they?
Yeah, and Scientologists will meet you at the mall. But I mean, like, it's the idea that you're not supposed to talk about your beliefs with people who are skeptics. That's how you really know you've maybe gotten to a cult, because you're not allowed to question the beliefs.
Yeah, that's when when you question the entire structure. Then
well, let's see if people are questioning birds are real.
Social security number!
So I was just really fascinated with the concept of like a fictional character living in reality.
Birds charge on power lines.
Oh God, that's good.
That's awesome.
I've thought about that though, but the fact that birds sit on power lines all the time.
They charge on them.
They charge on them. Brilliant, dude. I love this guy.
From there, everything just happened really organically. Just kind of like a snowball going down a hill. Dropped out of college.
Oh no!
And moved to Memphis to follow the energy.
This guy dropped out of college to pursue a fake conspiracy.
It's like his own personal marketing degree.
Hey, yeah, fuck it, yeah. I'm not gonna say he's wrong. Look at him; he's successful. But
They had enough money to buy a billboard.
Yeah, but like, really, good for him. But like, imagine like he was going to be a doctor, and said
He was on course to be.
Yeah, let's say he was on course to be like a doctor or something, and like he just said, "Mom, I want to drop out to tell people birds aren't real."
Got this great new idea.
Yeah.
Life changing.
Yeah. He's like, "You were supposed to save people." I can. By telling them the truth.
I just let them know who's been spying on us.
That had kind of magically blossomed. Everyone was like, what are you doing?
Now the mayor heard we were coming, locked the whole city down. We're on their home turf! We were really interested with the thought that social media kind of presents like a new way to tell a story, and that we're all watching these different stories all the time from these people that we know. And I thought
That's true about social media.
It's kind of a new way to tell a story, because everyone kind of tells their own piece of the story of the movement.
Well,
right?
it's very interpersonal. It's not about like, imagine a lecturer speaking to a grand audience. It's about the whole audience speaking to each other, right?
That's the narrative. Yeah.
Yeah. So it can really grow and expand that way. Not for the better, sometimes for the worse. A lot of times for the worse. But
sometimes to the ridiculous, like this.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, 300 people, like I'm kind of following 300 stories. I was really excited about the idea of being...
I'm glad he got a van, though. All good.
True conspiracy theorists will always have a van, right?
That's why I don't have a fucking van, man. I need a van. We used to have a van. You and me.
We did.
Uh-huh. Fuck, that was the dream. I want to be
It's
like
still get a van. It's popular to get those vans now.
I want to be like a doomsday prepper. I really do. In a van. That'd be cool to have, though.
Doomsday in a van. Doomsday van.
Just be prepared for the day you have to live out of your van.
This representative.
Some people are ahead of the curve.
Movement and building the story out underneath it, and kind of taking the seed of this thing and like making a whole lore and history behind it and making it feel real. And then what I'm representing isn't just a guy with a sign anymore. There's like all this meaning behind it.
This is Connor, who wrote the history on the website. He's one of my best friends. That's the thing about birds, is it really is like basically a family operation. So that's my sister, Emily.
Do you think there's anything like morally wrong about this at all? Is it
so.
intentionally?
Nothing,
well,
I don't think anything bad came of it, right?
Well, maybe, but like, do you think it's like intentionally deceiving?
I think if you truly, that's the problem.
Well, I mean,
I think like they're not so on the nose where like if someone could actually really believe. The problem would be if someone actually did believe what they was saying, and then
right, but then would they be responsible for that when they knew it was a joke to begin with?
Maybe that's why he's coming out.
Maybe he thinks that this is getting out of hand and people are actually believing it.
Yeah, that's why he wants out of the movement, or to come out and say, hey, it's all made up.
I will say though, like, as a legitimate conspiracy theory, like killing birds to replace with drones is pretty brilliant.
Why? I'm sure they don't even need to kill them though. They can just hack into their brains. Ooh. How hard could a pigeon be to hack into?
Pigeons are fucking smart. I've seen them die. No, pigeons aren't smart.
We built this set in 24 hours in Little Rock.
Since the Eisenhower administration, the U.S. government has been committing genocide on the entire bird population and replaced.
Connor came in and ended up helping me write all the history and build out kind of this whole world. It's just a super small team.
I made the Vietnam War part of Birds Aren't Real lore.
Then Nick joined the team, and
That guy looks like Harry Potter. Did you see that?
I made the Vietnam War.
He kind of, yeah. Sunglasses and the hair.
This dude looks like
conspiracy theorist Harry Potter.
It looks like if Harry Potter basically took a job as like a part-time journalist for the New Yorker.
For the New Yorker.
I don't know. Could be anything, really. But like, I just chose the New Yorker. But like,
subtle stubble.
Could be BuzzFeed. I don't fucking know. But
slightly disheveled hair.
He looks like Harry Potter, though. I swear to God.
Then Nick joined the team, and I work with Nick, to write the arcs.
There's 1,000 different ways we can extend this logic to make...
He seems super serious.
A little too serious right there.
He's really serious.
There's 1,000 different ways we can extend the logic.
He did seem very serious.
Kind of a reflection of the times we live in.
We don't want people...
This is the evil person behind.
Yeah, like I could tell, like these two guys here, they're just like, hey, this is fucking funny, and this guy is like, no, we're saying something serious.
There's 1,000 different ways we can take this.
We're saying something really serious about society. We're fucking. It's like, no, dude, we're just trying to have fun and laugh about all this. He's like, no. This is gonna be a real thing.
You guys are missing the point.
He's missing the point. We're gonna start a movement.
We have something here.
Yeah.
People to actually think. I felt like it was. That's why there's jokes in like the history.
There's winks. There's twinkles in the eye and everything.
Yeah. There's clear jokes.
There's always been a wink and everything. So we never set out to make an actual conspiracy theory. If anyone digs for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, actually watches a couple of the videos.
If anyone puts some thought into it,
yeah, you can see what's going on. Yeah.
I just love it. Like, look at the guy in the flannel and the main guy. They're laughing. Yeah. Meanwhile,
he's like busy.
New Yorker Harry Potter here is like really fucking serious about like getting the message out. I just swear to God, it's hilarious.
He's so different from the others.
I want him to say more, please.
Yeah, I do.
This is Birds Aren't Real. You know, there's nothing more conspiracy than a conspiracy van. Literally, it's like
Hey,
this
like what we're
information
Yeah. Conspiracy.
needs to get out so bad, I'm going to put it on my car. We like to tell people this is not what's actually going on. Way more complex.
That's outdated.
Yeah, way more complex technology. This is one of the first models.
Dude, it's just a chip and a bird.
I know. This is way more complex. This is just one of the first renditions.
It's one of the first models, the early tech.
There, yeah.
Somebody gave us this sign at one of the rallies. It's not a funny matter. We have made these shirts. Connor drew this on it.
I'm only watching at this point because I want to see more from New York Harry Potter.
Yeah, okay.
His iPad.
There was a certain point when enough people were buying shirts, like Birds Aren't Real shirts and the merch, that I could like quit my job. My first thought was like, okay, I'm not an idiot. This wasn't like the biggest mistake of my life.
Ideally, you know, the movement's not representative of any one person. You know, it's representative of lots of people. And the van was kind of meant to be a billboard that can move around. It can be a stage for rallies and can take the idea.
Every single time I see this guy, he's just like, he's just so intense.
I know. He doesn't even look like he can crack a smile.
Yeah, anywhere.
I've been doing Birds Aren't Real for 5 years now, come this January. It's not something I want to do forever.
Connor and I have been doing birds together for 5 years now.
Look at him, like he's so. He's just like.
He seems kind of sad that they're coming out as this admitting it's not real.
I know. It's like he's so disappointed that you guys are missing the point.
You guys are sellouts.
Yes, fuck. You guys are missing the point. We can really fucking say something right now. Oh,
We're right on the precipice.
And about to go separate ways. Connor's going to Colorado. Just kind of growing in different directions. Is a real like page turn to a new chapter for everybody, it seems like.
From the first day that Birds Aren't Real became an idea, it felt like...
This guy is incapable of smiling.
Every bad thing that came from this movement was from this guy.
It was bigger than me. Birds Aren't Real has sort of made this community, and there's members of that community all across America.
You know, I didn't know about this movement like an hour ago, but I kind of want to buy some of their merch.
You're a firm believer now?
I'm a birds are not real.
We called it the Bird Brigade, which is like our boots on the ground activism network.
Hi, I'm Caleb. I run the Birds Aren't Real Triangle chapter here in North Carolina.
They'll make chapters at their own colleges and they hold their own rallies. They teach the lore in seminars. We're visiting Brendan down in Arizona. Like, I've never met him and had no involvement with his Birds Aren't Real chapter growing and forming itself.
Peter? This seems like the sort of thing that can get really out of hand.
It could, yeah.
Yeah, because you have all these like chapters growing internally. You don't know what they're saying.
Yeah, and they're only like loosely connected.
Yeah.
This movement kind of reminds me of, you know, like the Pastafarian thing. Like, where people came together to make up a religion and then actually got like religious status.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I just want to believe that like New York Harry Potter is like secretly starting these chapters on the side while these other guys are just like he's just creating and like he's like, don't listen to what they're saying. They're just they're taking this as a joke, but this is serious.
The founders have their own like
they have these meetings that exclude the founder of the Birds Aren't Real movement because they know it's a joke, so everyone else just gathers to be serious about it. I want to.
Oh yeah, it's like Sunni and Shiite, you know, Muslims is like, this guy is the true prophet.
Yeah. Hey, we're only halfway through this video, but we're running out of time. Let's watch maybe a good another 5 minutes or so, and we'll wrap it up. Because we still have to, me and my wife still have to eat dinner. So,
oh yeah, let's go.
Yeah, okay, so we'll just continue reacting, and maybe this will be a two-parter. We'll have to react to the second half another time. This is good though.
Bring here, man. It's so great to see you.
I've been waiting for this moment. Like,
It's truly an honor.
absolutely. My name is Brendan Traxel. I'm the president and founder of the Birds Aren't Real NAU chapter here in Flagstaff.
How was the chat?
Part of me actually likes the fact that this is all happening because like people need a reason to get social gatherings and clubs going. You know.
So we have to make up fake conspiracy things to have a reason to bring people together.
What other reason would bring people together? Like, what do you need to have to bring people together? Anything. I mean, there's
people always feel like they need reasons to get together, you know?
They do, actually, yeah.
When really, you should have no real reason to get together, right?
There's no real reason to get together other than just human interaction, but I don't know. It just seems like it's getting people together, and they're as long as they're all in on the joke, it seems like it's a good way to bring people together of like minds. Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a certain person to want to join the movement in an active capacity, I would say. So maybe they enjoy each other's company because they're all kind of like that.
Right.
In on the joke.
Yeah.
When it began, it was basically just me.
I too spent many a year alone.
Yeah, but now we got tons of people.
Except every single person who joins this movement is exactly who I expect them to join. Like, this is just like, yeah, he sounds like every other bro I know. Just, the way he talks. Just the way he talks, you know exactly what he believes. Or how he
Except
is.
for New York Harry Potter.
New York Harry Potter. The only reason I'm still watching this video is I want to see how intense this guy is.
Every time, consistent. It's the best feeling.
You guys ready to rally?
Rally it up, baby. Yeah, let's do it. See if I can squeeze in here.
You got it. What do you usually chant?
I do like birds, 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 and they say lies, lies, lies.
I like that one. I've never used that. What would you say is the most important part of Birds Aren't Real to you?
Just the people power, honestly. People think it's hilarious. It brings joy to people's faces. Everyone in America knows things are kind of crazy. And I think it's an important place and movement per se to kind of bring back the humor that we kind of lost.
I'm very thankful that I was able to open my eyes to the truth. Never trusted birds.
I've never trusted you. Haven't either?
No.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. That was a good point he made.
Hold on, save that thoughts for after the ad.
Washington homeowners, if you have a power meter like this on the side of your house, you can qualify to erase your...
All right. What were you going to say?
I think that was a good point he made, is like it's kind of good to bring the humor back into it.
The humor is important. For all joking aside, like my brother who goes to a Black Lives Matter rally or protest and just holds up a sign that says, "This is the worst gay pride parade I've ever been to." That's what I want to see more of, really. Let's bring the humor back. Morton Hall. All right.
Yeah, the college.
Yeah. Morton.
The spokesperson for the entire Birds Aren't Real movement, here we go!
Oh, he has sellout stadiums or auditoriums.
Birds aren't real! Birds aren't real! Birds aren't real! How are we doing today?
Wow. I can't believe that this would get this much attendance. I didn't know anything about this.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I mean, like I said, I'd only heard a little bit about it.
I'm amazing that you can get this much attendance.
Let me tell you this right now. The university doesn't want me sharing this information.
That's always a key seller.
Oh, yeah. They don't want me to say this.
That's right. 4 out of 5 dermatologists don't want me to share this information.
Okay, they came to me, they said, go up, say hi real quick, give the mic back to Brendan. And I said, okay, but you know what? I lied. Say, I lied. I lied, okay? Here's the truth. The United States government murdered every living bird from 1959 through 2001. Is that okay with you?
It's plausible. I could see them
I
doing
would put it past
I
them.
could see them doing it, yeah.
Me neither! I hate it! Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? Do you want to be in a history book? Well, you're in it now. Give yourselves a round of applause. Come on. Birds aren't real! Birds aren't real! Birds aren't real! Birds aren't real!
The movement's pretty much
course
made
you
out
have
of
to have
Gen Z
music.
and millennials. Because I've asked myself, why are these people here? Gen Z specifically, these people that have grown up with the internet seem to understand it on a different level. In some ways, it's like its own language, and I think that a lot of Gen Z feels madness and lunacy. And I guess laughing at the lunacy or embodying it can be an interesting way to express what you feel.
All right. All right. I think that might have to be the dividing line. We'll finish this video in our time. But yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of explaining it to me in a way that why it might have gotten so popular.
It makes sense. No, it really does. I think like this is good overall. It is really
Okay.
good. I don't think that it seems that not many people actually take it that seriously.
Yeah, like I said, I think they said they have these like winks, like saying like if anyone actually dove into this, they'd realize how untrue it is.
Well, everyone but New York Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Like he is he very much is trying to make this a real thing. But like the rest of them are just saying like this is like we live in a crazy time and we have this crazy message to preach to people that make them at least feel like I don't know, like we're in on it. We understand that like things are crazy and we can joke about it. So I appreciate that. I think that's actually really important. Yeah.
It's kind of a weird twist in like a postmodern philosophy. Like a lot of postmodernism is about the absurdity and the irony of things, whereas this kind of tries to turn that and tries to make some sort of good out of it.
Right. Okay. I enjoyed this video. I wish we saw more of New York Harry Potter. That was the reason why I continued the last 3 or 4 minutes, because that guy was intense. This guy actually had a purpose for this whole movement. The rest of them were just fucking joking about it. Hey, this is a good way to sort of like relieve stress during our crazy times and everything. But this guy's like, no.
You guys,
this means you guys don't.
You aren't doing enough.
You're not doing enough. So I wish we could have saw more, but maybe we'll see more of that guy in the second half of this video if we react to it later.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe I'll have to find his name. Look up some interviews by him.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts?
I'm just buying it up. I'm sold. I'm on the Birds Aren't Real team now.
Birds Aren't Real.
Northwest chapter.
I actually, you and me gotta join this. We'll bring in someone. We should interview someone actually a member of the Northwest or Washington, Seattle, whatever you want to say, chapter. We should interview someone from that.
Reach out to them.
Yes, let's do it.
All right.
We're gonna
that
do it.
That would be interesting.
We're gonna fucking do it. All right. Other than that, I'm really hopeful for the next couple podcasts. Welcome to 2022, everyone.
Woo! Space Karen.
Space Karen, yeah. It's 2001: Space Odyssey. It's a joke. First Contact was what I was thinking, but no one knows that movie.
No.
All right. For Tina and Karen, do the tube. I am Karen.
This is Tina. Back for 2022. Get ready for all the ridiculousness.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna get more and more 2020 out there. Stay safe, everyone, and stay hydrated. I love you.
Oh.